Good morning. Well, I have no topic today because I actually just realized that today was Friday, which is amazing. That's a good feeling. You're like, what? It's Friday? So I guess the week wasn't as long as the last few weeks were. Actually, I just thought of something that we can talk about. Hey Jairus, happy belated birthday. Did not know yesterday was your birthday. Hi Mona. So it's Friday and it's a pleasantly surprising Friday because I thought today was Thursday, and then I was about to start the video and I was like, is it Friday? And looked at my calendar, and so I'm happy it's Friday. So the last few weeks have been so crazy that like Tuesdays have felt like Fridays, Wednesdays have felt like Fridays. And this week it feels like, oh, okay, bonus day. I did not realize that it was already Friday. So I didn't even know what I was gonna talk about, but it's Friday, so we usually talk about fear on Friday. So Face Your Fears Friday. This is Travel Chat, the show where I use my super long commute, even longer today because I'm stuck behind a car. It's going slow. Hey Bisu. Who's waving? BC's waving to me, but I don't see her. Okay. Hi Diane. So I use this commute to learn stuff first and foremost, and think about the patterns in my life and how to change them in order to be more successful. And I talk through my personal development out loud because that's how I process things. Some people process things on paper, and that's totally fine. But I turn the camera on so you guys can see me processing through things, so you can know what it looks like, so that hopefully you don't feel crazy because you look at me and you're like, she looks crazy. Maybe I can do this too. And that you don't feel crazy, because it's a crazy experience. You do actually feel like, in 2018, I felt like, am I going insane? Like, what is happening to me? Everything in my life was completely the opposite. I mean, everything. Literally, my favorite color used to be red, and now it's blue. Like, it was every single thing. I just recently realized Monday, we went to the grocery store, and we always get vanilla ice cream. Now, I grew up, I liked ice cream, but it was like, it has to be brown. Rocky Road was my favorite. I would take chocolate if there was nothing else. I like the stuff with the fudge, with the brownies in it, all that stuff, right? My daughter wanted chocolate ice cream, and I was like, yuck. It was crazy. I was like, I don't even like chocolate ice cream anymore. I don't even want Rocky Road ice cream. Like, I want vanilla ice cream. Everything just totally flipped. I'm a whole different person in 2019 than I was in 2018. And so when you're going through a transition in your life, and you actively start shaking up the energy, and you start making things different and better and trying to improve things instead of just going through the status quo, like, let me just get up, do the routine, go back home, whatever. Like, this is adulting, right? Hashtag adulting. When you actually start saying, you know what, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something more. There's more to this story than this routine that I have. There has to be. There has to be. And so you start changing things, and you shake things up in your energy, and a lot of things change. And it doesn't mean you're crazy. You're not going crazy. Your life is not coming to an end. But actually, you are just beginning. And my aunt, she may jump on in a little bit, but she told me not very long ago, and I was so grateful when she told me. Like, I couldn't even find the words to even tell her how much I appreciated her just telling me. She was like, hey, you know when this and that happened, a few years back? That was me transitioning to my second chapter, my new life. And she was like, it's awesome on the other side. And that's so good to hear, because when you first start this, you're just thinking like, my life is over. I don't know what's happening. Now I want to change everything. Everybody's mad at me. Everybody's mad at me because I stopped communicating, the same way I used to communicate. I stopped when I felt like, and they may not agree that this was the case, but I felt like I was enabling behaviors because I would bail people out of situations, and I stopped doing that. And so, people got mad at me. No, you can't come to my house and wash your clothes. No, you can't sleep on my couch. Like, no, you need to get yourself together. And I, there's a lot of stuff that I was just like, this is not going to be my reality anymore. Like, I'm not going to continue to sacrifice my financial future for, helping people who are not exactly working as hard as I am. And I wasn't saving correctly and all this kind of stuff. And so sometimes you have to make those tough decisions. And, it's not going to be pretty. Like, it's not going to be pretty. People are not going to be, like, ecstatic to, kind of be cut off. And so, unfortunately, it happens. But it's nice to hear that, like, yes, you are walking, from Psalms, right? You're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but fear no evil. and just to know that, like, the other side of this is something beautiful. So I did not come. This is one of those days where I woke up. I didn't listen to Abraham Hicks this morning. I did some more of the Dave Ramsey coach training. It's like an online program that I'm doing to learn to become a financial coach. And, all day yesterday, I did not fit in any of the videos for the coach training, because in the morning I was listening to this book that I'm just caught up in this book, right? And then on my evening commute home, I was still listening to this book, but I had to turn the book off. Y'all are not gonna believe this. So I told Diane this is crazy. I had to turn my book off yesterday. I had it in my ear. I was listening to Profit First, and on my way to my car, I got an idea for a new budget planner. Not to replace the budget diary, but a completely different layout. A completely different layout of a budget planner, because we need options, right? Like, one size doesn't fit all. And it popped in my head like all at once. This is kind of what we would call like a download from spirit, from like from God. Like, I'm trying to think of another word for God. from source energy. So it's like when you're in the receiving mode, like you're in this relaxed space where you just know everything's going to work out. You know your life is going to be fine. And you just kind of go about life saying, everything's are always working out for me. Everything's going to work out for me. I don't have to worry about anything. Oh, Diane, I'm going to come to that. So I was in this mode where I was like, everything's going to be fine. Like, life is going to work out. Things are going to be fine. And I started listening to Profit First, and I was like really inspired. And I'm walking to my car, and all at once I get this download of like a planner, the whole planner, all at once, the whole planner. It wasn't like I had to sit down and think, and what should go here, and what should go there. It was the entire planner. I could just see it before my eyes. I was like, oh, this is a whole different thing. Because I was like, I got to revise, because I've done this 3 times already. I got to take the budget diary off the market and fix it and put it back. No, I couldn't do that because this was a completely different layout. And so I was like, okay, this is a new product. All right. And so I get in the car, and I'm about to drive home, and I was like, it was like pregnancy. If you've ever had children, it's coming out now, whether you are at the hospital or not. Like, this baby is coming out. So what do you have that you can write on? And luckily I had my happy planner, and I have like blank sheets of paper in there. I grabbed it. I'm driving home. I had to turn Profit First off because I was like, you're interrupting the download. Turn Profit First off. Grabbed my pen, had my happy planner on my knee with my pen, driving, sketching this thing out. Is not the prettiest sketch. I'm gonna have to make it today, because otherwise I'm not gonna even know what I was writing on the paper. From beginning to end, from the very first, from the cover of the planner to the very last page, the entire planner is written out, is sketched out, is done. And that was my commute home yesterday. So yes, Diane, I wrote that while I was driving. I'll show it to you. And it's the craziest thing, but I'm telling you, when you're in the receiving mode, that's what happens. And that's why, was that yesterday I was talking about time? When I was saying that time doesn't matter. Like, this is what I did while I was driving. So if you hear about, I think I'm going to call it the ultimate budget binder. The ultimate budget binder, if you hear about that, you know the backstory. You know that thing was created on my knee while I'm on the highway, and that it was completely inspired. So yesterday I was talking about time and how time is not a factor, because if you align with God, like you have a goal and you align with God. Hey, Kimberly. Hi, Brandy. I'm missing all kind of stuff. So if you're aligned with God and you're connected and you have a goal that you've sent up and you're like, this is my goal, and you are in the receiving mode, meaning that you are just relaxed into the knowing that it's going to be achieved. Like, you're not wondering and doubting and asking 11 different people what they think about your goal, but you're just like, this is going to happen. I already know it's going to happen. All you have to worry about it, and just relax into that. You will receive information, and like, you will receive open doors. You will meet people randomly. You will meet somebody at a grocery store who knows exactly, who has the information that you are needing. And it's not anything you could plan. You can't orchestrate it. I could not have, if I was not in the receiving mode, I could not have sat down at my desk and sketched out that planner. I mean, I have a planner. I have 2 versions of the budget diary, and they are working well. I use it myself. I was using it yesterday. I love it. I have no problem with it. Diane uses it. She has no problem with it. It's a great planner. I wasn't trying to figure out another product, but it came to me all at once, and I sketched it out, and now it's half done, because now I just have to actually make it pretty in Apple Pages and all that kind of stuff and get it packaged up. But that can be done before tomorrow. I could do that today, on my lunch break. I could knock it out because it's already sketched out. All I have to do is put the meat on the bones. And usually constructing the bones is the most difficult part. Figuring out the layout is the most difficult part. Putting the pages in order, figuring out what goes on the pages, figuring out if somebody's doing their budget and they have this and they want to do that, where should that go? What should that look like? That's already done. Simply because I am bending time. And that's what we were talking about that yesterday, is the fact that you may think you have this finite amount of time, because I think, okay, in 24 hours of my day, 11 of my hours are spent going to work. And so in the mornings, I'm really tired. I don't get up super early like I used to, and I don't stay up very late because, I have to get up early. And so my kids are my priority in the evenings, and then on the weekends, of course, there's housework that's piled up, and I want to take them outside to do stuff to burn off some steam. And so I'm working on building a business on almost basically like 1.5 days a week. And so to me, that seems unacceptable, or it did until Tuesday when I had the coaching call, which created the epiphanies. But that seems unacceptable. Like, how are you going to build a business working on it 1.5 days a week? Well, if those 1.5 days that I get to work on it is like so efficiently tuned in to where in an hour while driving, God has given me an entire planner product from beginning to end in an hour. By the time I got to my mom's house to pick up the kids, I had the entire planner already sketched out. That is what I mean when I talk about the value of tuning in, being connected to God, letting Him know what your wishes are, and also doing the things that let Him know that you're serious about changing your life. And we've been talking about that on Face Your Fears Friday, about making your fear to-do list, making a list of things that make you afraid, and then starting to do those things, even if it's in tiny little ways, just moving closer to doing those things, because that gets the attention of the source of all the power, the source of the creator of the entire universe, looks down at little old you, getting out of your comfort zone, doing something that you're afraid to do, that you know you need to do. And then He says, you know what? Let me go help her out. Let me go help him out. what is he trying to do here? Let's look at this goals list. You got a goals list, and you got a fears list. And you start working on your fears list, and God will start working on your goals list. I'm gonna have to write that down. Diane, write that down. Tell me that I said that. Diane will tell me, do you remember you said blah, blah, blah? I'm like, I have no idea what I said, because when I'm talking and I'm driving, I'm just talking. But that one was good. If you have a goals list, and you have to have it written down on paper, there's something magical about writing it down on paper. But if you have a goals list and you have a fears list, if you start working on your fears list, God will start working on your goals list. I have goosebumps. Oh my gosh, the girl has given herself goosebumps. She's crazy. I need to come in her. So that's where we are. So I have been working on my fears list so much that every Friday, and I told y'all I'd do this too, I hope you have. I know Brandy has. She sent me 2 or 3 pages. I was like, oh my gosh, she's ready. And I've been writing them down and knocking them out to the point now where when I realized today was Friday, I was like, I don't even think I have anything on my list to do anymore. Like I've headed very boldly in the direction of all my fears. And thank you. Fears are your compass. A lot of times we think of fear as the thing that we need to stay away from, especially if we're trying to do something radical and change in our life, or we have a prayer up there, like you send the prayer on up and you're waiting for the answers, but you're just waiting. Don't just wait. Look at something that you could do. And if you think that like all this idle, like random busy work that you're doing is important, it's not. That's not important. What's important, the most important thing, is getting out of your comfort zone. While you're waiting for God to answer your prayers, you need to be doing something to show that you're serious about actually changing your life, like doing something for yourself to change your life. And the most powerful thing you could do is make out a list of things that scare the devil out of you. And I don't just mean like, oh, I'm scared to go to Costco on the wrong side of town or something like that. Like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean something that makes you have stomach pains when you think about it. Like you have an emotional tie to it. Your neck gets tensed up. You get a little bit nervous. You start to sweat a little bit, and you start to feel like, oh my goodness, like the emotions are kicking in. You feel a little bit sweaty just thinking about it. Your voice is trembling. Your teeth are chattering. A couple weeks ago, I did something. I think I had to call the IRS or something. Like I did something that was on my fears list, and my teeth were actually chattering. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Like I'm really afraid. And it's not like super bad. It's just I was kind of anticipating what they were gonna say, and I was hoping for the best, and so I was just a little bit nervous about it. But when you write out this fears list, put it somewhere that you can see it often enough that you get tired of looking at these things, and you're just like, you know what, let me just do this one piece of this thing, because I'm tired of looking at it. I'm tired of thinking about the fact that I haven't, had that difficult conversation, or I haven't mailed that thing in yet, or I haven't, whatever it is, I can guarantee you that it is the doorway to your dreams. What is it that Brandy would always tell me? Like, I don't know where we got this from, but I know she says it a lot. Like, I can't remember now. Like the thing that you want the most is on the other side of your fear, something like that. But it's true. And I was telling my friend, I don't say this anymore because he misquoted me like so badly. I know you're gonna watch this too, Joseph. He misquoted me so badly that I stopped saying it, because I was like, oh my gosh, if that's what people hear when I say this, I'm not going to say it anymore. So I was telling him that fear, it looks like a brick wall in front of you. It looks strong, it looks sturdy, it looks like you can't climb over it, you can't go around it, you can't go through it because it's made of bricks. It just looks scary. It just looks like that's a dead end. That's what your fear looks like when you're looking at your path and there's a big roadblock, and you're like, well, I guess I should just stop and just keep my life the way it is. But fear is actually like a tissue paper. Like you know, that gift wrapping paper when you make you have a gift bag and then you put the paper in, it looks so pretty, but this like really thin paper to where if it gets wet a little bit, it just melts like cotton candy. Like that is what fear is. It looks like a brick wall, but it's really just tissue paper that looks like a brick wall. And if you just tap it a little bit, it just melts away. It falls away, it just crumples. And on the other side of what you thought was a brick wall, there is a party. And the party, there's like confetti, and everybody you love is there, even celebrities like Oprah is there, and everybody that you would want to say good job, well done, like Jesus is there, and everybody who like, if you make it through this fear, like all of the best things are on the other side. And they're throwing you a party and they're clapping for you, and there's like a wind machine and your hair is blowing back like Beyonce, and the lighting is perfect and everything is perfect. Like that is a huge victory party for you on the other side of what looks like a huge insurmountable fear, but it's actually like a mirage. Like there's nothing even there. So I used to tell my friend this all the time at work, and one day he quoted it like in his blog. And he blogs over at diaryoffatherhood.org. By the way, it's an awesome blog. If you are a father or a mother or a daughter or a son, you have to read his blog. They're short and sweet stories, and it's basically every time he's interacting with his kids, his mind works on a whole different plane. So he's interacting with his kids, but he's being strategic about it, and he's maintaining the relationships with them, and he's guiding them, like he's coaching his kids through life and how to make their own decisions. And in the end, he has a little blurb where he like connects it biblically, and it's amazing. Like I've learned so much about how to talk to my kids, how to interact with my kids from reading his blog. I wish that my husband would read his blog, because there's a lot of little things that we do without thinking that is like, if we were on the same page, we would raise really successful kids. Because and I'm not saying I do it right, I'm learning too, but just reading his blog, I get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this, you don't have to like be right about everything. You don't have to explain everything. You can just ask them questions to see where they are and help them to learn. Just how we coach other adults, coach your kids into the same way so they can think through their processes. It's amazing. So anyway, he used this quote in his blog, and instead of saying that fear is a tissue paper brick wall, he said it was a toilet paper brick wall. And I was like, no, it's not toilet paper. Oh my gosh. I was like, it's not toilet paper, but like to some people, you know, bathroom tissue, right? Like bathroom tissue is tissue paper. And I was like, no, it's like gift wrapping paper, like not toilet paper, like tissue, like gift tissue. And he was just like, huh? And I was like, oh my gosh, this whole time when I was talking to you, did you think I was talking about a wall made of toilet paper? And he was like, yes. So I had to stop saying that. But that's my analogy in my head when I think about facing my fears. And it feels scary. I feel like I'm gonna just tap on it a little bit and it's gonna fall away. You know, fear is just a big bully, but it really does point you in the direction you should go in. And then once it falls away, the reward, the satisfaction that you feel is so out of this world great. It's better than anything money can buy. You just feel like so proud of yourself, so strong, so smart, so productive. And like I said, the wind machine, all that. So it's amazing. So face your fears. So it's Friday, and it's Face Your Fears Friday. And that's all I have for you today. I can talk about more, but I'm going to save it for next week, because who knows if I'll ever think of anything. I'll think of things. But so anyway, that's that. So if you I'm not exactly sure if my email, let me know. I know, Mona, you're on the list. If you are on the list for the 8 Easy Steps to Manifesting More Money, that email course where you get an email from me every week for 8 weeks, if you are getting the emails, can you let me know in the comments? Because Diane is not getting the emails, and I have no idea how to fix it. I went on yesterday and did all this tech support stuff, and I cannot figure out why she's not getting emails. So I signed on myself so I can see if I get my own emails, but I won't know for like a week, because well, 3 days I'll know if I get the second email. But if you are getting emails, or if you signed up and you're not getting emails, please let me know so I can figure out how to fix the tech. Tech is a fear of mine, right? Like, I'm afraid of tech, but I faced my fear of tech weeks ago when I made that course, and I was like, you know what, this is not going to control me. I'm going to learn how to do this because it's too important to get this information out there. That's the easiest way to get the information out there, apart from talking to you guys every morning. So if you're getting emails, let me know. If you're not, but you signed up, let me know. I was gonna say, oh yes, if you are getting them and they're helping, or they're fun, or they're funny, send them to your friends, or tell your friends to sign up. Send the link to your friends, and have people sign up, because I'm trying to grow like a community of people who are like-minded, who care about figuring out how money works, but not how money works in like a stuffy cigar smoke-filled back boardroom way money works, but like in a fun, uplifted, inspiring way about how money works, so that we can get more and be happier and less stressed, and not just to get the money, but to exchange the money for things that mean something in our life. Exchange the money for things that will make our lives easier and better, and that we have enough for ourselves, and we also have enough to share, so that we can make other people's lives better and easier and more meaningful. So that is my goal, and it's been nice this week. Enjoy your weekend off. I'll see you guys back. Oh, that's good. Your fears are crap. I have to tell him that. It could be toilet paper. Your fears are crap. Oh gosh. I'll see you guys back on money. I'll see you on money. I'll see you on Magic Money Monday, and we'll talk about cash. If you have a question about money, let me know. I am doing a Dave Ramsey course, and I'm learning so much. It's so much fun. It's a great course, and I'll be doing it nonstop because I'm in love with it. Between that and Profit First, I don't know how I got to be so blessed to have like two amazing things to put in my ear. I can't. There's not enough hours in a day. Like, I want to listen to them continuously. Anyway, enough about me. Send me some messages and let me know what's going on in your life. I really, 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 really do want to know. And I will talk to you later. Bye.